I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. COVID Year 3, the culling of the stupid. Now, that the Omicron variant is 50% more contagious, we are up to over 2,000 deaths a day on average. Hospitals are packed to capacity, and the dying are 98% unvaccinated. This last week, we hit a peak of 3,506 dying of COVID in America in one day. That's more than 9/11, or 8 full 737s crashing and killing everybody. Good job, morons. One of the people who died last week was Meatloaf, amazing singer, talented actor. He was funny and dramatic, lovable and talented. But he said about the COVID masks and the vaccine, if I die, I die. Then he died. I find that hilarious. Sorry, people, but if you have a simple solution to a problem that might kill you and you choose not to use that solution and then talk shit about that solution and dare the thing that can kill you to kill you, karma is hilarious. Apologies and thoughts and prayers. Look, I don't mean to disrespect anyone whose name is the same as an ingredient in a Hungry Man dinner. Listen, you can't get funnier than what's happening. Sarah Palin said, I'll take the vaccine over my dead body. And this week, Sarah Palin caught COVID. I'm sorry, but her and I have a history. Listen, if I said, I'm not going around, I'm walking to the store by crossing the freeway. Because less than 1% of people die crossing the freeway. And then I die by getting run over by a Prius driven by a maskless anti-vaxxer. Please laugh your ass off at me because I'm an idiot and caused my own death like an idiot, and I did it idiotically. To all of you unvaccinated, 98% of the dying in hospitals are unvaccinated. The vaccine is free. It doesn't kill you. For over a year now, we have proven that the vaccine stops severe illness and death. To be clear, I've been vaxxed twice, boosted, and I tested positive for COVID. I had a few hours of fever and the sniffles for 3 days. That's it. At this point, if you won't take the vaccine, you're ignorant. Just own it. Just get the t-shirt that reads, I was alive during the COVID-19 pandemic, refused to wear a mask and get the vaccine, and all I got was to be buried in this stupid t-shirt. Or if you survived it, you could get the t-shirt, I survived the COVID-19 pandemic without getting vaccinated, and all I got was brain fog and 60% loss of lung capacity. I own those libs. To be clear, we are 3 years into a pandemic, and if you don't want to do your part and take the most effective vaccine in history, if you want to roll the dice with your own death, the future of your family, your health, and your finances, and possibly shortening your life by many years, especially when you can get vaccinated at the Chevron drive-thru island for free, then I'm going to make jokes about you. That's what I do. The Armageddon Update can do a lot of things. We can inform, we can anger you, we can entertain you, but if you think we're going to stop joking about the stupidity of the moronic who are dragging this pandemic deep into its third year, well, I'll do anything for this pod. But I won't do that! Rest in peace, Meatloaf. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. And by the way, just because you're talented doesn't mean you can't be a moron. Hey everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. Thanks for watching the Armageddon Update. With me, as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
There could be only one.
There could be only one. So, as we noticed in the Armageddon Update, COVID deaths are still going, but it seems to be people. It seems right now we're getting to the place where it's people. There was a Nazi guitarist. A right ring. Well, these white wing supremacists are very horrible.
Oh man, I would watch that news.
Elmer Fudd doing
with the news.
Yeah, it would really take it down a bit.
Welcome to the show. Today, the stock market fell.
Tell me about the insurrection.
I love to talk about the insurrection. The insurrection. There was an attack on the Capitol by many, 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 many bad people. And the Proud Boys.
I can watch this.
And the 1%ers.
I can watch this news.
Elmer Fudd does the
news.
Oh, if only Robin Williams was still alive.
So now I need to superimpose Elmer Fudd on top of you.
So we had a guy that played for some right-wing Heil Hitler band.
That is hard to say.
Bassist.
Nobody should say that.
He's like, I'm taking this fucking death vaccine. And he died. Hilarious. Then Meatloaf says, if I die, I die. And he died. And here's what's funny. Here's what's funny to me is that if you actually tempt the fates like that, if I die, and you die.
And then you die?
That's a punchline. You wrote a punchline.
All the time, like, because I so believe in, like, you create
your destiny.
Yeah.
Sure.
You manifest things.
You manifest things, and I don't mean that like I'm like woo.
Yeah.
I mean that everything arises in your speech and in language and how you talk about yourself and your life. Like my brother is always saying he's broke, so all he's ever going to see is that he's broke, and he's going to miss opportunities to not be broke, right?
Yep.
So I always tell him when he says things like, say about being shot on a comedy club stage, don't say that. Stop saying that, right?
Yeah. Quit talking about that.
Things like that. Or he'll say, I'm not, I'll live to probably 60, 65. And I'm like, what are you talking? Don't say that. So
165.
Meatloaf needed me as a wife.
Yeah.
Is my whole point.
Everybody needs you as a wife.
No, they don't. That's not very many people could put up with
That's
me.
valid. But then we had had him. And then Sarah Palin, who came out and said she's like, oh, I'll take this vaccine over my dead body, and she got COVID.
I mean,
we'll see if she's wrong or right.
The countdown begins.
Is it a punchline? So what I don't understand is, you know what? I tweeted this out this week. I never see this. Man who follows all vaccine protocols was vaccinated and boosted and wears mask. Comes down with COVID and dies.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
And
Haven't
says,
seen it one.
I'm doing everything right. I hope I don't get this and then die. And then die. Nope.
He hasn't. I haven't seen it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And what I don't get is it's still going on. We're at 850,000, 870,000 dead now. And we had 3,506 people died one day this week, which is a 9/11 plus.
Yeah.
Or 8, as I said in the Armageddon update, 8 jetliners crashing. Oh, yeah. If 8 jets crashed in one day,
the world would shut down.
Yeah, we'd all be like, you know what? We're not getting on a plane for a while. Yeah. But these people are like, no, I'm going out, my freedom. Oh, by the way, here's another question. Did Meatloaf keep his freedom by dying?
All the comments.
I just want to. I'm just saying because everyone's like, my freedom, and then you die. Did you keep your freedom?
Just look.
You're free to die.
Free?
You're free to die.
So you're free.
Just actually look down, and you can see all the comments piling up about.
And then they all say, "Let's go, Brandon."
Yeah.
Can I be very clear? Meatloaf. Incredible singer. Meatloaf, credible actor. He's great in Fight Club. Almost everything he did was great.
He was great in Fight Club. I was about to say I don't love his music so much, but that's a personal choice. But Fight Club, Bob, he was
waiting till
genius.
the end of time. Now, come on, man.
What?
Some great stuff. Yeah.
What is that song?
It's a little show-toony, but that's
Thank you.
okay.
Yeah, but
that was when Queen Paradise by the Dashboard Light came out when Springsteen was doing epics and Queen was doing epics.
Yeah.
There was Elton John was doing these weird epics.
Yep.
These songs that went on forever. I think Paradise by the Dashboard Light came out after Bohemian Rhapsody, right in that same era.
Bohemian Rhapsody 75. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, so there was an era of these big. What's the Springsteen song that makes no sense? Go across, blinded by
Born
the light.
in the USA. No,
but it does make sense, but not at the tempo they do.
Not in the way they think. Yeah.
No, it makes sense, but not to anybody on the right who thinks it's a.
Born in the USA is the most misunderstood, misused song.
Yes.
Like Trump playing that at his rallies until Springsteen made him stop. Is that people just don't get the irony at all times? Please, do you want to explain it?
You need to play him the version he does with the slide guitar. He does a real slow version. And it really lands.
Oh, I'll have to check that
Born down in a dead man's town. Oh, that lyric's clear now.
Oh, now I can hear all the words. Okay.
First thing I took was when I hit the ground. And I'm like a dog that's been beat too much. And he's going, wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, it's very soulful.
And you go, oh, we should have played Reagan this version before he said it on stage.
It does help when
I just want to say we're born in the USA. And then Springsteen came out, and then when Reagan used, that's how long Springsteen's been the baddest motherfucker ever. Springsteen had released that song in '84. Reagan was running again, and Springsteen issued a statement. He should really listen to the words of the song.
Did he?
Yeah.
Do you want to explain to people? A lot of people don't know
who Ronald Reagan was.
Not the real Ronald Reagan.
Well, yeah.
The whole thing, the whole conversation we're having is about
Born in the USA.
Misunderstanding of Born in the USA. And you turn
Yep.
to me at the end when I say, explain it to people and say, who Ronald Reagan was?
Because I'm a comedian. I'm trying to be funny. I'm doing my best. So,
but also, a lot of people don't know who Ronald Reagan was.
Born in the USA it's about a guy that is sent to Vietnam, nightmare, watches his friends die, comes back, and he still has no life here. The gas fires of the refinery. It's like it's still a nightmare. It's like the American. It's like
trying to live in this world after leaving that world,
right.
and this world is its own nightmare.
And some guys are using it for votes.
There's
Bro.
no upside, is what I'm saying.
No, that's when they started playing Lee Greenwood. God bless the U.S. I'd be if Lee Greenwood came apart and was like, "Hey man, it doesn't mean that at all, man." It's I was sarcastic.
You know what's another one that's the irony of it is, and it was used during the Vietnam War a lot, was what's that, Creedence?
Oh,
a Creedence song? Fortunate Son.
Fortunate Son.
And they're,
yes.
that it was like kind of a rallying cry for the Vietnam War.
Yeah. And
no,
it's all that. No,
it's the opposite.
It's all the people that aren't rich got sent over to die. Yeah.
Well, wasn't
so people get behind stuff.
Get Back was originally written as a protest about immigration on behalf of immigrants, but didn't they changed it right before?
Well, yeah, it's funny because it sounds like but
then
it
turned into anti-George Harrison. Something.
Didn't at
all. The funny thing is, Get Back was about it was going on in England as all the Pakistanis were coming over and they didn't like it, so there was big racism. So the Beatles writing a protest song about that, which was "Get back to where you once belonged," and we're all singing it in the car. Yeah, get back. We're like singing like racism. Now I can't even sing the song anymore. I'm going to sing it slow. By the way, here's the thing. Here's how dumb we've gotten is that no one can even get irony in a song or sarcasm in a song or satire if they just take it for face value. We need to. I'm glad. I have to be honest. I'm not glad COVID came, but I will say this.
Holy shit! What just happened?
No, I'm just gonna say if you're so stupid that after all we've done, George Washington vaccinated or inoculated his troops against smallpox at the Continental Army. Mm-hmm. If you were so dumb after polio killed 3,500 people and we had a mandated vaccine. If you think they're trying to kill you, I was thinking of this as I drove in. If you think they're trying to kill you, give me the evidence of that. Why even have a vaccine then? COVID was killing people. We were up to, at one point before the vaccine, at the highest when it was raging, it was like 11% of the people were dying of COVID. Mm-hmm. And it dropped quickly once they started figuring out things. So if they wanted to kill you, why would they invent a vaccine? They would go, can't, sorry, we don't know what to do.
Yep.
Or wouldn't they just come up with a disease that would kill you faster?
Right.
Like, wouldn't they? They want you to get back to work so they can continue to get your tax money so they can continue pay for a $60,000 lunches. That's what they want. They need their lunches and their luxuries in our government.
The problem is this generation hasn't had any serious, like polio or anything like that.
Right.
That was
I was going to say,
generations.
if you're going to say any problems, I was going to go, well.
No.
9/11. I mean, Great Recession.
I mean, that needed like, oh my God, we have to develop a new vaccine for something. Mm-hmm. And then everybody's got to take it and they're old enough to be aware of it.
Interestingly, the last two generations have only seen death rates drop from cancer and stuff. They've only seen, even crime rates went and kept going down and kept going down. So I guess, well, thank God for Trump then, because it woke everybody up.
Right.
Woke him up like, hey, we can't, whoa, this guy's an asshole. It's weird. I still can't imagine how he went from Obama to that guy. Like, what was the swing? I keep wondering, what...
You've always been the one that said what it was that it tweaked people's racism, overt and latent, much that they needed to get back so far the other direction. That's been your stance. I don't know if it's true.
Really,
I'm just repeating.
And there was also a lot of people saying that, man, he just says what he means. He says what he means. No, he lies.
Yeah, but now Biden said son of a bitch, and it's...
That was yesterday. Yeah,
awesome. My goodness, I can't believe that he would say such a thing.
Oh, man.
Get me my smelling salts.
It's not like he said called someone a shithole country.
Or a son of a bitch, which Trump said 1,000,000 times, or on a hot mic
grab him by the pussy.
Quote, grab him by the pussy. Quote, punch that son of a bitch. Nail that son of a bitch. He said it at a rally to people that were heckling him.
I know.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But so you've listed a few of 10,000.
10,000,
when he got ink on his shirt he's about to do a presidential address sitting at his desk, at the Resolute desk, and it's on YouTube, and he goes, oh, fuck about. I mean, like, come on, are you kidding me? But it's fine.
Well,
it's
one
fine.
of the senators, and I responded to him. He actually said, "Have you ever seen after Biden?" So here, people, if you don't know what happened, Peter Doocy, who for the last year since Biden became president, has been asking Jen Psaki the stupidest questions.
He really has.
It's real, like there's some shit he says, and she's great. She's just so sardonic, drops right into it. And just buries him over and over. It's just been going on for a year. It's not like Peter Doocy just spoke up and Biden jumped him. This guy's been the asshole in the classroom for a while.
Yeah.
So he asked him a question yesterday. He said, I don't know if he goes, do you think higher inflation is going to be detrimental politically? And Biden just goes, higher inflation? No, it's an it's an asset. Jesus. What a dumb son of a bitch. That's it. Mike's right here. He didn't even go.
He leaned in.
That's what I thought. Like, if you don't think Biden meant to say that, you're mistaken. He calls the guy an hour later, and even Peter Doocy said, he called me, we buried the hatchet, it was no big deal, he apologized for saying it. And then everybody's like, I can't believe, even the people on the left were like, can't believe he apologized. I'm like, no, that's why we're better on this side currently. I'm not saying that's going to be forever, but I'm saying that better people. Sure, we all feel the same. One of us will be like, fuck him, and I said it again and double down on it. The rest of us will go, you know what, that was probably uncool.
Yeah.
I don't think that he should do it, just like I didn't think that Trump should do it.
We agree.
So, but I'm saying that I can't stand the hypocrisy in every instance from those people that supported and support Trump, where now they're clutching their pearls and pretending they can't believe when they supported this dude. It's like I was saying to you this morning.
Paid off porn stars.
Yeah, he puts on the news and I put on my makeup and I just explode.
She just heckles from the bathroom. It's the fun. I should record some of it.
I can't take it.
She can hear it and she's just randomly heckling from the bathroom.
All the marks are like,
yeah, exactly. That's why I look so angry today. Eyebrows. So they were talking about Boris Johnson, and a lot of people in Britain, like a massive, like 70-something% of people are calling for his resignation because he did the lockdowns for COVID. And now they've found out that he was having parties at Bleecker Street. And during the lockdown when they weren't allowed, and I was like, wow, that's what it takes for England to get pissed, right? They aren't allowed to go to the pub. And so they're like, this dude needs to step down. Here we have a dude using campaign funds that people sent in to support his campaign.
He paid to his hotel.
He paid off porn star and a Playboy model.
Put money into his hotels.
And then a million other forms of embezzlement and siphoning.
And his sidekicks actually raised $10 million and then spent it.
Out in the open corruption.
And we're fine with it. It's fine.
Well, in England, I just say that English people, here's the thing. There is a sense of, I'm going to call it honor, or they're not mad that he had a party. They're mad that he said you couldn't, and then he had a party. Like, I don't believe. Wait a minute. Wait. I want to be clear about one thing. So we can't go get all snogged up, but you, because you're the prime minister, you can go out and get totally hammered.
Your locks off.
Right. That dude.
Did you hear him when he was speaking today? Yeah. And he says, so obviously I would do whatever is in the best interest with this investigation going on for the people of the UK. And did you hear them start heckling? Yeah. They were like throwing things. I love that. But here we're like, hey, 800,000 people dead. It wasn't his fault. Fake news.
Shithole countries still inject
liar.
Bleach. Come on, wants to date his daughter. We're good. What?
Okay, you guys and the wants to date his daughter. Okay. Anyway.
Said it. Repeatedly.
And we're back. We're always back. At least every 6 months, right?
By the way, the reason I bring it up is because all the right wing said was everybody on the left was pedophiles. It was a web of pedophiles.
They're still saying that, by the way.
Yes.
The only people that have been, they keep taking. another representative just got his.
That's what Boris. They were drinking baby's blood at Boris's party. That's the real.
What it is.
Oh, it's happening constantly.
Adrenochrome smoothies, bitches.
And there's not a lot of news coverage of it. How many Republican either officials, elected officials, or fundraisers for them, or lobbyists are being arrested and charged with some type of, I just did a Donald Trump.
Having porn on their computers.
Of porn with children.
Yep.
Gotta have that face.
Having stuff on your computers. Matt Gaetz is
super excited. Matt Gaetz, his ex-girlfriend, has now gone in and in exchange for immunity, which means she had something to give, she is testifying in front of the grand jury, or did, against Matt Gaetz.
And can we talk, because the January 6th committee is making moves now. This is what's really cool, and we covered it last week, but they know that the 7 states now, it was 5 states when I wrote it, and then it was 7 after we 7 states tried to install fake electors to get Trump elected. So, and you know who got that? A reporter asked for public documents. No one even was looking at it.
No one
He went to the archives. Some reporter went to the archives and was like, "Hey, can I get the electors? Send them all of it."
And a librarian comes out and like, "Oh, all the forgeries right here."
Exactly.
So
all the evidence
We were
of
waiting.
criminal activity. We have it. They sent it to us because they're geniuses.
Linda, tell us. Sound the alarm.
So they're moving forward and making headway on it. I don't understand. I don't understand where it's going to go. Are we going to have the balls to arrest this guy? Because it is pretty obvious now that he committed crime. Giuliani, all these people who signed these elector things said that Giuliani told them to do it, sent them the work. They matched. The paperwork matches. It's like the same font. Really, over 7 states, they just happened to pick the same font and format. Okay. And so Meadows knows about it. Oh, and this is what I want to talk about. Everybody's pleading the fifth. We have videotape of Donald Trump saying out loud, if you plead the fifth, you're guilty. And you're a criminal justice major. Pleading the fifth doesn't mean you don't have to talk and you're just avoiding it. What does pleading the fifth mean?
Well, I'm not an expert by any stretch. I'm just somebody
who
reads.
We could actually just put that on the sign.
Yeah.
We're not an expert by any stretch of anything.
It's protecting you from self-incrimination, but obviously that would typically mean because you have something to be incriminated for. Right. I'm not going to plead the fifth if you ask me about Clumsy's murder, because whatever I tell you, I had nothing to do with it. Right. I wouldn't incriminate myself. So people pleading the fifth.
But if I was going to ask you, if I was going to say, what happened to all of Christopher's t-shirts, soft t-shirts to sleep in? Would you want to answer the question?
I don't speak English. I don't. Fake news! Fake news! Deep state!
I plead the cinco.
Deep state. Nothing happened to your soft shirts. They're all still there.
Okay.
Piled up. It's a new pillow.
Yeah. No, she
I don't
puts
know
them
what
back
you're talking
and then
about.
takes them again. She has a drawer of that's in my dresser that she just keeps stuff that she sleeps in.
No.
Kinda.
I have my own pajamas.
True.
I'm pajama obsessive.
But just sometimes.
Actually went to a pajama party one night for girls. I don't have to say that. I went, it was all dudes. It was awesome. I went in my skivvies. It was a girls' night, one of our girls' nights, and the theme was pajama party. Anyway, and I had a girl drink tequila and then attack me saying, you don't really wear that shit to bed. Those aren't really your pajamas. And Jen was like, no, that's actually, I slept at her house. She wears those pajamas.
Grace Kelly. She is great. She only shops from the Grace Kelly line of pajamas, actually.
I love pajamas. I just sometimes.
They're actually almost, in some case, to this Gen Z, her pajamas are formal wear.
That's business casual.
Exactly.
That's Tuesday's conference call.
I do sometimes take your shirts that remind me of you and smell like you if I'm like working from home.
Recovery.
Thank you.
Yes,
or
she could say this
it's like swaddling myself like you do with a puppy when you take it away from its mother for the first few nights. You put something that smells like you in there so that it can nuzzle. That's what I do at home. I just take his shirts and do that.
They say, by the way, all that cash in your wallet, it just reminds me of you.
I make shirts out of them.
When I take hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
I haven't ever taken hundreds of dollars out of your wallet, but now that you're speaking of it so casually, I'm feel
if you
empowered to
said
do
that,
so.
it just makes me love you more if I take money from your wallet. Okay. Yeah, that's how girls work.
At least it's shirts.
You did not just say that. You did not just say that. We're 10 minutes in and he's already been sexist. You know,
Misogynistic.
money. That's how girls work.
I mean,
there's
a song.
So
Girls
just to be
don't like
clear,
cars,
I have never taken money out of his wallet because I don't want anybody going through my wallet either. But you just used a fake story to then justify misogyny that was for no reason.
I was saying you're absolutely fine to take money from
That's
the
how
wallet
girls work.
as long as you use that story.
Last week or the week before, you said girls don't like Star Wars, and we actually got some letters about that started with "Hate to tell you, Titus," or "Sorry, Titus," but there
was a row of them.
Yeah.
You know what I do love is I do love that people give a shit that what I think at all. Sure. Like I don't give
It's
people.
not-
I'm an idiot.
It's
I get
not
it.
that we care what you think. It's that we think you don't think. And we want to make sure that you know that we think that you don't think.
Oh, you're so pretty.
That's how girls work. Hey, bada bing, boom.
By the way, that's how that is. I retractedly. That's
I'm
how
Big
girls
Al.
work.
Come down to the electronics store. We're having a liquidation sale. What?
Come on, little lady. I'll get you a Coke. You want to buy this car? What's a little like you driving a big car like that?
Anyway,
Go ahead, sweetheart. Continue.
Show me so what?
that's what he grew up
But
with.
aren't we-
And
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
always in there.
It's in there. But
His dad,
you know I mean it sarcastically.
and I always thought he was kidding, but then Shannon was here and
no.
said, "Oh no, their dad used to
That's that
grab
whole-
waitresses' asses as they walk, pat them on the butt, and say, "Go get me what,"
That's
or
the
a
whole-
flight attendant."
So was mine. That's that whole generation.
Sweetie.
My dad, every woman was a broad.
Yeah, but
And if
so-
she said anything, she was a pushy broad.
Oh,
She said anything.
I'd be super
Like,
pushy.
excuse me,
broad.
sir. Pushy broad.
You
He
are.
would not
Even
like
now.
me at all.
Even now.
Yeah,
you are.
I mean,
just-
I am.
Like I don't fear. Although I do not fear for you in public. I don't fear for you. I'll be there to back you up, but I don't fear that you're going to be a shrinking violet in any
I'll at least be
situation.
loud while I'm being murdered.
Exactly.
I'll probably be murdered. I'm not
Don't
one of
put
those
that out
people that's
there.
like, hey,
No,
you're
don't say
right,
that.
you're right, you're
You
right.
fight too hard.
No, I mean, if I were taken, they would either give me back or
Like, by the way, we all feel like we've had a 7th grade dance and got told no. We hung out with her for 3 days. I hate myself. I know I'm ugly now.
Everyone killed themselves
She said
after
I'm
this.
So here's-
asymmetrical. I'm what does that mean?
so here's a
She is
Is that what
horrible.
you say? That's a good one.
That's just horrible.
awesome story. So the girl actually who was saying those weren't my pajamas after
after
she had tequila, she was kind of going after me, but that's kind of her personality. She's a pushy broad,
But you create that in certain women. Like,
but she works at a car dealership, an upscale car dealership here in LA. And long story short, she ends up giving this woman a test drive. They go like almost out to the desert. She noticed when she opened the woman had gotten repairs done, or she was wanting this girl to hear what was wrong. It was something. She had to be in this woman's car. And in the trunk of this woman's car, she said that there were like water jugs and snacks and like weird stuff, like stock, like Costco. And
living
anyway,
in her car, kind of.
so for like an hour,
like
this girl
Supplies.
is a talker. She is like, we'll be at a party and you know she's there across the room, and it's like, fuck you, especially if she's drinking. So anyway,
and she's a sweetheart.
yeah, they go back to the dealership and it's over. And like a week or two later, the cops come and want to talk to this girl because the person that she had taken on that test drive is a serial kidnapper. And there were like 3 people missing, and one of them they ended up finding out in the desert.
So that's where I thought this was headed. Holy shit.
That woman took her back and dropped her off.
Because she's a talker.
She's really, she
said, "I
is a
can't take
female
this."
Titus times 10. It's like, yeah. And so her whole thing now, whenever we're all together, is I am kidnappable.
Yeah, we're like, no, you are not. You are so
So
not
for her
kidnappable.
birthday, she got a shirt that said "not kidnappable." Like the woman has kidnapped so many people and killed people, and they took her
She
back.
couldn't handle it.
I love that they
would be-
drove her almost to the desert. She's like, we're going back.
I can't. I actually, and I'm going to not just drop you off. I'm going to make sure you're back and away from me. That would be probably both of us, I think.
Maybe the serial killer was like, you're going to kill a lot more people. So
Right,
I'm gonna
right. I'm actually
let you out to the
ruining-
wild. You're going to give people heart attacks.
She's actually great. She's one of those people that's really big, and then when you're her friend, she's like
Fierce.
she's fierce and kill for you. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's great.
So, like we're 3 years into COVID. Do you guys realize that we're into
Just thinking
3
that recently,
years
yeah.
now? So, people got on my ass. I wrote some shit about Meatloaf. I did some jokes about him dying. But he won't do that. He would do anything for love, but he wouldn't do that or whatever.
Now we know what he won't do.
He died because he wouldn't do that. Then I wrote a thing about I apologize for making fun of a guy who's named after an ingredient in a Hungry Man dinner, which by the way was her pitch on it. Which she took a joke I wrote and she punched it up.
Because Daddy always taught me
Beast
more
mode.
specific is funnier. So I was like, why would you just say
meat? Yeah, why would you
meat?
say named after? Yeah. So anyway, people got mad, and I was like, you know what?
They got so mad.
I'm to the point now where I don't care if you are. After 3 years, we've proven the vaccine to work. We've proven that, and they're changing. They're doing a special Omicron vaccine now. They're like they do the flu shot. It's gonna happen. And I like if after all this time, after so many dead, after so many people who are gonna have lifetime damage, you can't just go into the, as I say in the Armageddon update, to the Chevron drive-through aisle. I mean, self-serve island at the gas station where they're giving out free shots and get a shot. You're funny to me now. You're absurd.
Yeah.
You're absurd. Now, the other side of that is if you have some sort of comorbidity or an immune problem, you can't get vaccine.
This
that
email
sucks.
titled
That's fine.
This email entitled
You looked it up.
Meatloaf. Oh, we have several. You dumb young excuse for a human being. The only thing I find funny is your family, which is what he makes
That's
jokes
what
about.
I do jokes about. I've done 4 specials about that specifically.
Feel these all caps. How dare you speak of an awesome musician? But then again, idiots in your generation would know squat about good music. You ever heard of not speaking ill of the deceased? Exclamation point. I hope someone takes a dump on your grandparents' grave.
Me too.
What?
Me too.
What?
I mean, you know why? Because the flowers would get better. They would actually.
We
fertilize.
had,
That's where you
Exactly.
should take a dump.
That's
after
exactly what you're supposed to
using
do.
In my
a
grandparents'
man's
car, that would upset
Flowers
me.
blooming.
Exactly.
It's beautiful.
After using a man's death, I was one of your biggest fans, and I'm done. I can't. He actually says, "I can't believe you tweeted because he wouldn't do that." That's what we're offended by, and I'm pretty sure you weren't one of my biggest fans. If you thought that was edgy for me,
She pointed something out. She goes, "Does he know any? If he was a big fan, he'd know all the shit you've armed the children. I mean, there's some shit you've done that like. Listen, there's some stuff you should be offended at, and then there's like that. I'm sorry.
Is there another
I don't
Christopher
care.
Titus?
If you are so stupid at this point that you're going to buy stuff from not virologists, not doctors, not the CDC, not people who've put their entire lives
not
into
comedians who run a podcast.
comedians.
Yeah.
You know, Neil Young, of all people, this is the craziest shit.
Finish that.
It didn't. I don't give a shit. You're funny.
And that's what I just want to make this really
You're
clear.
just funny.
We are comedians. You are an entertainer on an entertainment podcast. That's actually what we do for a living, and what we actually get paid for
Right.
is to make jokes about things happening in our lives and in the world. And sometimes we aren't funny to you. I get it. We're mostly always funny to us, which is sometimes why we do it.
Sometimes Ken and I sit up in the editing room and giggle like
Idiots.
4-year-olds.
Complete
Well, that's why
idiots.
we can't put this out, but damn, that's funny.
But that's what we actually do, is make jokes, and that people are now offended that you're making a joke about what's in the news. It's just kind of like
I even put a joke.
It's
He burst out
exhausting.
laughing. If I die, I die. He doesn't take vaccine, he dies. That's the perfect joke.
Yeah.
That's literally it's a set of
on a
punchline.
silver platter.
Yes. I won't over my dead body. I'll take the vaccine, and then you get COVID. Come on.
That's why we said it would be really. The irony would be him being run over by an anti-vaxxer.
If I get run
and
over
he said
by
in a Prius,
a maskless, a non-vax Prius driver. If I get run by that on the freeway after saying I can cross the freeway, please, everybody, right, left, make fun of me till I said it.
If I got run over by a shoe truck or a makeup truck, or something, that's how she would have wanted to go.
Right. The only more accurate joke for Meatloaf would have been a fucking bat flying in and biting him that had a meatloaf in its stomach, and that would have been it.
He did tweet
I did
that
say that.
about the bat.
I said he died from a bat out of Wuhan. People were mad, and I'm sorry. Listen. Meatloaf was also pretty funny. I will tell you this: if you could talk to Meatloaf right now, I would go, dude. You said if I die, and you fucking died. He'd be like, yeah, I know. Like he wasn't an asshole, but I it's funny to me. I just don't get the ignorance of it.
It's not. It's people are looking for the new and next offense, the outrage, because they have a platform now to bitch and moan and complain, and it feels so good.
What I find,
and sometimes famous people will respond. So now you've got this direct line to not to Bruce Springsteen because he ain't answering his Twitter, but who does? Patton answers. Richard Marx answers his own Twitter. Who else? I mean, there's some
people that do,
well-known people that will engage on social media, and these people who should never have been heard from at all. Period.
And the outrage threshold has obviously come down.
Oh yeah,
with Biden in office.
We are so upset.
I just love that he called it when he got his stupid son of a bitch. It was so perfect because Peter Ducey literally is a stupid son of a bitch. The stuff he asks all the time. Jen Psaki, you can see she works hard to not. Her eyes don't just roll all the way back in her head, and then she just slams them. So if you're not going to get vaxxed, people, okay. Okay, but if you die, if you say I'd rather die than get vaxxed, and you die,
now you're going to die, and we're going to make fun of you officially. Okay, so we're going to roast you twice.
If I do something that dumb, please roast me. Roast me. Put me.
Well, I will say this: when I lost my mom, I got up at her funerals, all of them, and did stand up about her and what we went through and about the situation, and that, I mean, I did it about my own mother, and I was hurt and offended and upset, and still saw that there were some pretty funny things about it. And now I'm telling those on stage. It's like we're not just picking Republicans to make it's equal opportunity. You actually said Bob Saget would have thought it was hilarious that his last tweet was I'm gonna be here and I'll be here after that or whatever, and it was you were like, oh, he would have thought that was hilarious.
Saget would have thought that was hilarious. Saget would have ripped Meatloaf too. Neil Young, check this out. The anti-vax stuff has gotten to a place where certain people, I love what the people that either you're so famous and have so much money, it doesn't matter what you say or do because you don't worry. Neil Young came out in the news and said he wants all his music taken off of Spotify if they keep Joe Rogan.
Crazy, right?
My man.
But
that's gangster.
Man.
Good.
It's like,
it's about time.
But it's also an easier stand when you just sold your entire catalog for $250 million. It's an easier stand.
Fine.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. You know what? Take that. I don't want that money.
Yeah, that I already got.
Yeah, I'm good.
I don't think is going to happen. But we know people that he's very good friends with. He works with a good friend of ours regularly, a musician, and they're the same way. Lion-hearted, social justice warriors are willing to do whatever they can or use whatever little bit of leverage they have to try and make a difference. So I admire the heart where it comes from.
Integrity, respect to Neil Young for standing up for something.
I'm sure he's listening. So.
I think the weird thing is there used to be that fairness doctrine. You had to be honest or you had to be truthful when you broadcast. And I think it would be impossible to even, do you imagine with all the podcasts and all the shows and all the TV channels and all the news, that to even monitor that, do you imagine the battalion of FCC guys they would have to have now to monitor everybody's bullshit?
If you think about
the
YouTube's algorithm, makes an attempt at that, and sometimes goes a little too far.
Yeah, with us,
hence
it goes too
our
far.
videos. I sit in a review pile for a week.
If we say the word COVID, even if it's get vaccinated from COVID, they're like, oh, we picked up the word COVID and they shut it down.
No, it was the graphic for his new show, Zero Side Effects. It was in the graphic. The title of the show, we didn't put it in the body of the post. There was no post. It was just the graphic, and they flagged it.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
It doesn't understand.
Who knew that Skynet was just going to piss us off for our views?
Right, and not be funny.
Yeah, and by the way, Skynet is just like, no one's going to see that.
This episode brought to you. I have a trifecta of products today that are actually, they go together for your new year, new you. Couldn't have worked out better, actually.
What are they?
All right.
This first advertiser episode brought to you by Butcherbox. I got to remember to bring you something. I would like to say that I just took the lobster tails out of the freezer.
I saw them in the refrigerator thawing.
Don't hate, because they're hard to get. Butcherbox, we love. Awesome if you are not wanting to go to the grocery store and get COVID. B, don't want to drive, don't want to waste the money, the gas, the time, whatever. And C, want to get quality meat and plan your meals for, you do meal prep every week,
But
right?
also
High
save
quality
money.
meat, ethically sourced.
And the great thing is this, with the supply chain stuff, like, first of all, it's all quality, it's all grass fed, it's all
100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, wild-caught seafood, and more. You just got to go look.
But so they're having supply chain issues in a certain part of the country. Butcherbox doesn't have that.
No.
So you'll be sent all the meat you need.
Also, they source holistically, which I love. So they work with the farmer, thinking about the planet and the people eating it. So you're never going to get added hormones or antibiotics, which is huge. Each box contains between 8 to 14 pounds of meat, depending on which one you choose. And you can pick your own, or you can take the pre-selected ones that they have for you. They pack it fresh and ship it frozen. So when you get it, I just put it all into the freezer and then just defrost things a little bit at a time which is great for us going on the road.
Yep.
And so the deal that they're doing right now, you would never have to shop for ground beef again. Butcherbox is giving new members free ground beef for life, for the entire life of your membership. You can sign up at butcherbox.com/Titus and get 2 pounds of ground beef for free in every order for the entire life of your membership. Log on, go to butcherbox.com/Titus. That's all. I always read their deals and I'm like, how do they do that? And my second thought was, I got to call my dad and give him this, because he's going to be like,
we just
what?
keep ordering. And it's so good. The pandemic changed something about, and not just for Butcherbox, but for every company, where I love to go shopping. I used to love to go look at stuff. I don't anymore. I just go online, look it up, took a look at the 6 pictures. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Give me
This comes to your house, which you guys know I love. We've gotten great feedback about their customer service, how awesome they are, and they work with you with any issues. And you've tried it. I mean, it's
amazing.
It's noticeably different.
It's noticeably different, and you don't think that. But like, I ran out recently and I had to pick up Trader Joe's chicken, and
totally different.
It's totally different. Like, I'm not a chicken
Butcherbox
scientist,
chicken is
but
lit.
You don't know why? That's me too. I'm like, I don't know.
Why are there rubber bands and shoelaces in this chicken?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it makes a difference.
That?
I found a nickel. I found a nickel in my chicken.
Inside the breast.
So butcherbox.com/Titus. So that's the first of 3 things that are going to help you get yourself together for the new year.
Can you look up January 6th updates, insurrection?
Well, one thing that I heard on the way here, and I hadn't thought about it this way. So we've now got the fake electors we talked about last week. We now have an executive order draft that actually made its way all the way to Mark Meadows' inbox. It was one of the things that he turned over, where they were going to seize all the voting machines in the country. So if you're a Trump supporter or a Biden supporter or neither, just Bernie, that should scare you no matter what, because you're talking about them coming in the military and seizing.
So the whole thing was
boxes.
it was a draft order to the Defense Department, to the Secretary of Defense.
So here's the part of that is terrifying is he was going to use the military to stop the transfer of power between himself and Biden.
He's going to seize all the voting machines. Then they were going to do a check and recount. That was going to take 60 days. So for 60 more days,
he was going to Insurrection Act.
He's going to Insurrection Act, martial law. And so people, we got this close to actually ending the country. Here's what I think happened. I think they were going to do it. I think they were moving forward on it, and they started putting out feelers to the military because they would have needed the military. Here's the problem. One country, Ukraine, let's say it's still a big enough country, but it's a tiny country compared to what we are. Russia's up against Ukraine. We'll talk about this in a second. So I can see that those people, it's possible to be taken over. We're 330 million people across 50 states. How are you going to take us over exactly? If people, so I think they didn't get the military to back it up because California's not backing them up, Oregon's not backing them up, the West Coast not backing them up, the East Coast not backing them up. I think they just realized, oh, there's no fucking way we could try this, but there's no way it's going to happen.
I think that none of this stuff is going to stick. I'm starting to feel like
That's
because
how I feel too.
All of these things, like at least in the public's eye, could be faked, right? Documents,
But that's what he said.
digital things.
That's what he set up, though. It's not, though. We have testimony. Here's the thing. So you think it's not? You think he's not going to get arrested?
There's going to be enough doubt. I feel like as concrete as it is.
Yeah, but man, there's a list of shit. I mean, there's a list of shit, and what I don't know is I think
because we've been waiting for 5.5 years
Yeah,
and
I think
thinking
I
there's
don't know if
no
the
way
list-
someone's getting. They have
them ironclad
The
right now.
DA in Georgia was granted the special grand jury for
state charges.
the state charges, and she was requesting a special grand jury because like a special grand jury might have to sit for a longer period of time, like even they said up to a year was what I was reading, and so she got it. It was granted. The judge granted it.
They had enough evidence for it because what Ray told me is you have to have enough evidence to show the judge who goes, yeah, you can get there's enough shit here. Yeah, you need a grand jury. It's grand jury to take down a president. Plus, it's state charges. So that could be his downfall.
Okay.
If Biden, see here, and I hate the Democrats for this because they're all fucking politicians, no matter what side they are on.
Yep.
Is that instead of just going forward, because here's what people don't understand. And being a comic for over 30 years and being on the road and seeing people how they react, I'll tell them the truth. Just tell them the truth and stand for something. People they respond to that. They really do respond to that. They want to see you. In fact, your balls will give other people balls.
Yep.
That's what you need. That's why when Neil Young did, I was like, oh, all right, good. But instead they don't. They're calculating, the 22 elections coming up. How do we do it? And I think that the Democrats' mistake right now is that they're holding up. They're thinking, okay, because we obviously have enough shit on Trump now. They obviously do. They were going to steal voting machines. All this. They've laid out. Even Mueller said way back then. He said, "Is there enough to arrest him after he's not president anymore?" Yes. Robert Mueller said yes.
You think they're going to collect it all and then time it right?
I think what they're going to do is I think they lucked out on it. I think they're getting it now. Is that the 22 election is coming up for the midterms? I think all this shit's going to hit the last 3 months.
Right.
But you said this before.
I know. I've been wrong before. And
At
I
the
will be
last
wrong again.
election.
I know. And when Biden won, though.
I know,
was
but
right.
it wasn't. Yeah.
No, I was right. He won.
We have to have hope,
So let me
Highlander.
finish. So here's what I think. But I think the Democrats are making a mistake. They're calculating that if we arrest Trump, even though what he obviously did is criminal as fuck, it will throw the country into turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
So all I would be is like, well, if you gave the right speech and we're like, hey, guys, listen, this is not political. This man tried to stop democracy. He tried to take down the country. You just get the National Guard ready and the Army ready. You say, guys, this shit might go crazy in the next 4 or 5 days.
Yep.
I want everybody ready.
Yep.
Don't show anybody, because if you show anybody, then it looks like a coup.
But Biden won the popular vote by 8
million.
trillion people.
Yeah.
So
Close.
Yes.
How
aliens from other planets voted for Biden. Yes, that's why they were zooming around for the election. They were like, "Hey, we got the
Mandalorian came down.
I'm waiting in this polling line. God, they should have went to a city." Yeah.
So how would the country go into turmoil if?
Well, here's what's crazy to me is on.
How would they think it's going to go into
I'm
turmoil?
seeing these videos from protests and stuff where there was some guy walked up to a reporter at I think it was leaving the Trump rally. He's like, I tell you what, man, when we go to war, you're dead first. I will shoot you first. Press, you're dead first. And the guy, they're filming him. He's like, I don't care if you film me. He goes, you're part of the press. You're part of the problem. You're part of the reason we're here. The press. I will take my gun and shoot you in the face. I'm like, is that where we're at in America right now? What are you mad about? Do you have a 65-inch TV instead of an 80-inch TV? What's exactly your issue?
Right.
Where are
you losing?
Yeah. So interest rates on cars were like 2.9%. What's bugging you, bro? You could have. I just don't get it. So I think they're calculating which they should never do. Just do your fucking job. I wish people would just straightforward go after it. No matter what you do in politics, somebody is going to manufacture the other side of it to win.
Yeah, and if they take too long, that manufacturer on the other side, they're going to mount up some kind of a defense.
Which is what they do. Yep.
So if they just gather the evidence and then put it right out there with the truth, and that's it.
Yeah.
We're adults, we can take it.
Here are the 10 things that are fucking felonies that this guy tried to do to take down democracy and stop America.
And here's the other 400.
Yeah. And by the way, and see all these guys that signed paperwork, that forged paperwork, which is, they forged election paperwork. Do you get that?
Yep.
So all these guys in these other 7 states that did that, except for 2 states were very smart. I turned to Ray. So 2 states said, we are, everything was the same on the 5 states. They're like, we are the electors and we vote, we give all the electoral votes to Trump. And then 2 states went, we're an alternative slate of electors that aren't official, and we are the electors, and we sign this to give them to Trump. And I turned to Ray and I go, there was someone like you on that group who went, whoa.
Let's just cover our
Yeah,
ass.
let's cover our ass.
Yeah.
We need 2 words. Just add 2 words. Alternative, not official. Just add those words and we're good.
Alex Jones, you didn't mention that in the Armageddon update. Alex Jones, we found out today because he was on his, if you can call that a show, saying that he went and spoke with the January 6th committee and pled the Fifth nearly 100 times.
That's what I was trying. I was trying to say this. Trump said this. We have video of Trump saying,
"There's no limit to saying plead the Fifth."
If you plead the Fifth, you're guilty. Trump says that. We have about
Eric Trump pled the Fifth over 500 times with Letitia James. Also, Letitia James, there's so many things going on, has requested that Ivanka come voluntarily to speak to her about the Trump org New York State charges.
So did the January 6th Commission.
I don't know why. No, she's not. No.
And then he goes, I can't believe they're going after kids.
Children.
Can we get Hunter Biden in here to maybe have an opinion about this?
But also,
first of all, they're 50. But second of all, can we get Hunter Biden to Hunter? Come here. Yeah, they seem to be mad that they're going after kids.
But you put these kids in the White House as actual.
They're going after children. The one that you were being advised by children. What are you talking about? You fucking
no.
What was Jared Kushner in charge of?
Exactly.
The child was in charge of housing and development, whatever it was.
Peace of Israel.
Yes.
They put Jared Kushner in charge of putting peace between Israel and Palestine.
By the way, this episode also brought to you part 2 of your Get Yourself and Your Health and Life Together in the New Year trifecta.
New you in the new year. That's
brought to you by Fitbod.
Fitbod.
Excellent way to get yourself together in the new year. You are using it. Amazing. You should try this. You haven't tried it yet.
I haven't tried it yet.
You know what's great about it? Because you can actually set a workout for home.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to the gym right now. COVID. Yeah. I'm not, even though I've been triple boosted and had it. I'm not going out. I don't want to go, to a gym and just touch anything that was slimed by other people. So Fitbod gives you this, like, you can do all home workout.
Yeah.
Which is great too, because you don't lose that time driving to the gym and driving back and having to get motivated to get in the car and go there. It's like you can now fit this into your schedule.
By In-N-Out Burger on the way to the gym or on the way after the gym.
That's the problem. Sometimes there's an In-N-Out on the way.
There's a lot of temptation out there.
Oh man. Also, like comparing yourself to other people that you see online, it's like this you can do at home. You are in charge of it. It's your own progress, your own roadmap for how you want to look or you want to feel or strength gains or what?
Grandma Jean has one set of can of beans. Right? Can you enter in like what you have?
One can of beans.
One can of beans.
She doesn't have more.
This one side of her body is jacked.
She has one can of beans.
She just curl and then she switches hands.
She can switch. She's juggling.
To be clear, that was for her physical therapy because last year Grandma had COVID. She had a lot of her lady parts removed, and she had her rotator cuff operated on, and she's fine. By the way, she's doing
NFL
great.
Quarterback.
I just want to be clear.
Just get her ass handed to her. I'm getting back in the game. Let's go.
Grandma Jean goes to the gym and does 90 pounds on the lat pull down. Now she does them in a plyometric fashion.
Yeah,
where she stands up instead of sitting and does this. She waves her hands in the air like she just don't care. But yes, so you can put in what equipment you have.
Yep.
You put in what you want to do, what your goals
I had
are.
a cans joke in there, but I wasn't going to.
Thank you. Especially with grandma. I appreciate that.
Thanks.
You weirdo.
Both of us are happy.
So, and also it motivates you because it's there on your phone. It's your own thing that you're doing for yourself. And so, do you want to say?
It tracks it too, doesn't it? It's like you so track your workouts.
Each workout each day is different, and it builds on the one before. So they're not going to have you doing, like biceps 2 days in a row. Yep. It's like it doesn't work that way.
So like a little mini trainer on your.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, and you know how much trainers cost.
And for the whole year, it costs what one session with the trainer will cost.
Not half. It costs half of what I used to pay.
But
they even track kind of what you were just saying, and you can put in how often you can work out a week. So it's like, it's completely you. Yeah. But like you were just saying, so it tracks your muscle recovery and balances your workout plan with a variety of exercises so you don't overwork certain muscles. Yep. So it's super easy to use, has brand new HD video tutorials. If you don't know what you're doing, it doesn't matter because you just hit the video. What is that exercise? You watch someone do it, and that's so you learn proper form. Integrates with Apple Watch, Wear OS smartwatch, and Apple Health, Fitbit, Strava, stuff like that. So Fitbod, this is crazy, is only $12.99 a month or $79.99 a year. But if you sign up now, you get 25% off of your membership.
Because of the Titus Podcast.
It's crazy. So for the entire year, you would get you could work out every day for the entire year, and it would be roughly $60 with this promo code. So start your new year off right. Get started on your customized fitness plan from Fitbod. Get 25% off a membership when you sign up now at fitbod.me/Titus. 25% off your membership at fitbod.me/Titus.
That's a good, despite what anybody thinks, a good Valentine's gift.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah, but it
could backfire.
It's going to cause a discussion. Depends.
Only if someone
even if you're a gay couple, even if you're two dudes. Did you give me Fitbod? What's going on with you?
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, exactly.
I think if it were a conversation you've been having, I wish I could afford a trainer.
Right.
I can't afford
get
a
to
trainer.
The gym.
It's too dangerous to go to the gym.
I got it for both of us. So together we can actually boom. There you go. That's it. That's the
I got one. Here's mine, and here's yours.
And we solved the fight. We actually gave you a great product. And we solved the fight. There you go.
You guys are amazing. It's because they use an algorithm, and so it updates your fitness plan as you go. It's all built on itself, which is pretty amazing. The technology.
I have a question. So I've been hearing this. So Biden's going to be 82 in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks so sexy.
He does look good.
He's a sexy man.
Springsteen said something. Springsteen is funny. Old is not what we used to think it was.
Yeah.
Springsteen
was
amazing.
on Colbert.
So Biden is the new
and Colbert goes
60.
And Colbert goes. So you work out all the time. Is it the payoff? And Springsteen goes, I'm 71. That's all he said. I was like, oh shit.
And then he strummed his abs.
Yeah. And then he went, ding. He actually played Darkness on the Edge of Town on his six pack. Yes, you're right.
Springsteen looks great.
He does look great. He looks like he lost weight too. He's
been off tour, and when he's on tour, we know that he travels with his trainer, and he's on stage 3.5 hours a night, not including rehearsals. Right. So we have thought in the last year that he started looking a little leaner and and
I think he was working out to get ready for a tour. They were planning a tour. I think that's what's going on. So my point is this. So they're talking about someone came out, and I was listening to something, and they were saying they don't think Biden was going to run again. This was to get rid of Trump. They don't think Biden's. I find that hard to believe.
I mean, this was to get rid of him. This was like some kind of ploy.
Well, no. They wanted to get they thought all the polls said the only guy that could beat Trump for whatever reason was Biden. Which means, hey, we're running some really shitty dudes. Biden's a great guy, but I'm just saying, if there was no one under the age of 1,000 that could have run. Yeah. But okay,
how old's Bernie Sanders?
Exactly. Why do we have? I mean, I get wisdom. Mm-hmm. talking to my daughter this week, and she goes, I work with a producer, and he was 40, but he was great. And I looked at her, I was like,
wait, what?
You mean the guy who's experienced all of it, did hits for
40.
Rihanna and
She
stuff?
said 40.
She said 40. And I was like, so
Wait,
he
was a
wasn't
Crypt Keeper?
So he wasn't
God
25.
damn it.
To be fair, she also uses the words like literally together back to back
she
in
was-
every
yeah,
sentence.
like
So-
literally.
But
Yeah.
I was like, you mean the guy who's actually had tons of hit records and knows how to take us? She goes, you know what he did? He took my song and he sped it up a little bit and he just changed the words a little bit and we just toned some syllables out so it fit the beat and it was great. And he's 40. And I just wanted to joke.
He's like literally 40.
So he's 39.
But I point out,
Just want to say this again, like literally isn't a thing. It can't be a thing. Not even if you want it to be a thing, it's not a thing because literally means it actually is, and like means it's sort of like, and it's not.
Although
can't be a simile.
you can't say like literally.
It's not a thing. You can't say it.
It's literally like
have to
doesn't work
stop.
either.
right. If you look at like people's like high school yearbooks, like from the 50s and 60s, whatever, they looked a lot. They already looked older.
They all look 30.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
they all
weird.
look 30. It is odd.
It is weird.
So the numbers, like those decades that we always assign to, like, oh, now you're over the hill, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
That it's definitely extending.
And you have to wonder sometimes as you get older if you're just now hanging out with people that say that a lot. Hey, 50's the new
50's the new whatever.
30.
Yeah,
Hey.
by the way, only 50-year-olds say 50's the new 30. Only 50-year-olds say that.
But I don't think you're wrong. Because I'm just thinking of how when I was little, I would have seen a 71-year-old man and I would have thought near death.
Yeah.
If why not dead?
Yeah.
Springsteen
does
was
not look
not
like that.
what I would have thought of. You know?
Everybody in the 40s
And
looked 100.
Well,
Right?
I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
I think that you would have to think
Guy's 45, balding, old,
Yeah.
got big palms.
you would
like,
have to think with
They're
scientific
smoking too, though.
advancement that certainly we have to be coming up with products
Yes.
that are
like
helping
Fitbod.
to keep us younger and skincare and stuff like that. For example, the third part of our
I was gonna say,
podcast
and is there-
trifecta.
wait, hold on. Was that a tee up? You
Yes,
teed that
and you
up
guys
nice.
with Springsteen, you teed me right up. New advertiser, excited about this one because for many reasons, but we have been using this product for a month. This company believes in this product so much that they wouldn't let us do an ad until we had used the product for a month to talk about it. This company is called Athletic Greens.
This is why we
You would love this.
because they were like they said no we don't want the ad till you do the thing. But I was
You
like,
can't.
okay, you see anybody who just comes in and goes, no, I got the shit, and I go ahead, do whatever you want to do. That's what I love. I love a
So,
company that has the balls to stand by their stuff.
I will say we have been using this a month, both of us.
Every morning.
Let's talk about what it is first, and then I'll tell you why I was extra excited about it. It is actually a blend. It's a powder of everything. I went online to see what was in it, and it's absolutely amazing. If you go and look, how would you describe it?
I mean, it's a supplement that I all I know is when I drink it, I have that kind of reaction I have to wheatgrass.
Yes.
Like my body kind of gets a little electrified.
You are very sensitive. Yeah. So it has 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. So it's a special blend of ingredients, those things that are going to help support gut health, which I need, your nervous system, your immune system. I have seen that.
Your gut stuff toned right down.
Yes,
about a
your
week,
energy levels, recovery from working out or whatever, your mental focus, and aging. These are all things that these vitamins, minerals, superfoods, things like that. It's like you're getting your vegetables in the morning.
So in the past, I have tried these green drinks before.
This is
and
what
they
I wanted
all
to say.
they all taste like
Tastes like a football field.
They were fed through a lawnmower. Yeah, it does. I feel like someone took the bagger from the lawnmower and just poured it in the glass. And you're like, yeah, this is.
It just dove into his mouth first.
Exactly. I'm doing really good.
So this is what I wanted to say,
so-
because when I was training, I was using a different back in the day greens
And you had
powder.
here's what you don't have to do. You know, when you have something like wheatgrass, I have to settle myself, get
Yes.
ready, and then go for it.
Yes.
Same with some of these other drinks. This stuff just tastes fine. It's fine.
You got to work on your gag reflex. Like
with the old stuff. I used to do with the old stuff was I would hold my breath, don't breathe in so you don't taste it, swallow it, and I would always have water with peppermint oil ready to get rid of the taste. This, I can sip it. So they recommend having it in the morning on an empty stomach, which is always really good for stuff like this. They also give you, you get a dropper little thing with vitamin D3 and K2 because your body can't absorb, which I learned about this when my mom was sick. Your body can't absorb D3 unless it comes with K2. And also so many of us deficient in D. Go get your blood panels done and you'll find out because we're not out in the sun anymore like we used to be. And definitively, while my mom had cancer, there were studies that had just been released that people that were being diagnosed with cancer all had a
D3 deficiency
of D3. So I love that. So I do the water, I put this 1 scoop of greens in, 1 dropper of the D3, and that's the first thing I'm having every morning. And it's you can sip it, it tastes good. It's got a little bit of a lemon flavor, believe it or not. I just like to pull up the ingredients list so you can see, but it's pretty amazing. And it
go to AG Supplement Facts, people. Holy crap.
It does also have like spirulina in it. It's got whole food green stuff. So you're getting fruits and vegetables in the morning, all in this one drink.
That's awesome.
I just love this product.
Some of our ads go longer than the podcast. But here's
having been on the bad side of this, I am super stoked about this product, and I have really been feeling better, feeling more energy in my workouts and stuff like that.
Just to say this, you and I, we now, because the podcast is doing well and we do get offers for stuff, then we turn down a lot of products.
Yeah.
So when these guys were like, all right, try it for a month, don't even do the ad. And
then I thought, okay.
And then, but I'm like, okay, we'll do it. And then a weekend I was like, this stuff is awesome. Like now in the morning, I want it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Because of the way it makes me feel. And the guy that invented it was having such bad gut health issues like I was having and spending over $100 a day. He figured out trying to take stuff for it, like probiotics and everything, that he developed this to make it, to optimize his nutrition, but affordably. Yeah. So to make it easy for you to try, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting D, the vitamin D, and 5 free travel packs of the Athletic Greens with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Titus. Again, athleticgreens.com/Titus to take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. It is insurance. It's immune supporting. I can't help it.
I'm just saying.
I'm excited about this product. We got the metal jar and we do the scoop, but they also have boxes of travel packs, and we travel for a living.
He's 82, which means in 2004 he's going to be, if he won in 2004, when he leaves the presidency, he'd be 86 years old. And even George Burns, was slowing down it. So who do you think would be
George Burns?
Who do you think they would actually put in? Like who?
I feel like they're kind of grooming and trying to acclimate us to Jamie Raskin, who's an amazing human being. CNN just did a special about him. Is it sad that I instantly thought, people won't elect him because he's Jewish? That's how I feel about the assholes in this country.
I think Jamie Raskin,
a woman.
Jamie Raskin, smart, righteous, straight up, integrity. Been through some pain. Kind.
Humble.
I was thinking that too. So if they're getting ready for Jamie Raskin, the weird thing is that it's almost like Kamala Harris disappeared.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I mean.
Like,
she was
happened?
Out a little bit in the beginning in the spotlight and just got trashed. And so I feel like they just kind of dialed her back, and I very much believe it's because she's a woman. And
I disagree with that, because Elizabeth Warren, I don't feel the same way about.
But Elizabeth Warren didn't get elected president or vice president.
No, well, she was being considered. I think this. I saw sometimes Kamala Harris when she went on TV with like that rapper guy, and she just got really unpresidential, I thought. And same like Biden did yesterday by saying son of a bitch. I mean, we need to get back to a place in this country where people just hold their ground normally. Listen, our leaders should be people we look up to, not people we're better than, or not people we think we're better than. They shouldn't talk like us. Yeah, that's why Boris Johnson, and we've gone through this phase with Boris Johnson and Trump, where we're like, let's just get a dumb guy so I feel better.
Right.
But I don't want that. I want a guy that I go, that guy's so smart, I don't even know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah.
But I will go with that guy. Why? Because it seems that he knows what he's talking about. And and I love Kamala Harris. By the way, I was such a big proponent, but every time I see her like on camera, she doesn't seem to. Is the word gravitas?
I feel like you're responding to the zeitgeist kind of.
Yeah, because
like,
I'm that guy. Because I'm that guy.
I just think that in general, we all do respond to it. You know, it's no secret. We've talked about our friends a lot. Janine and CJ and Mahogany and Bay are some of our most favorite friends that we've ever had.
They're our best friends.
Yes. And Janine, who I really trust her opinions. She was an attorney, and she came over, and I just thought we were going to talk about like how awesome it is that we finally not only have a woman in that office, but we have an African American woman in that office. And Janine was like, nope. Not happy about it. Yeah. I missed half the conversation. She said we'd pick it up next time, but
I mean, again, this is all hearsay and stuff. But she had a bunch of people that worked in government as attorneys, and they said she was not the best to deal with.
Oh,
that's what they said. And I was like,
I was stunned. Or going the other way. The opposite of feckless.
I don't know. The thing is, all I know is all I know to us when she was here in California as prosecutor, she was a badass.
She was a badass senator.
You said, I will go work for her. That's what you said.
No, I actually said I want to follow her.
Follow her, yeah, exactly.
Just follow her everywhere.
There did seem to be like something about the way that she gave speeches. Was like there was a period where it's like, okay, she's confidence and strength.
I just want to be clear.
Well, I think this goes back to what I was talking about earlier. I think what may have happened, because before Kamala Harris, she didn't seem to give a shit. She said what she said and did it.
Yeah.
Now she's VP. I don't know if someone has sat her down and said, you have to act a certain way, because you can't tell someone like Kamala Harris or you or me or you to act a certain way. No, I'm just going to do what I do. That's what got me here.
Where she's double thinking what she's saying.
Yeah, that's what I think. I would like her to go back to being the prosecutor that was here in California, because it seems like she's not that anymore. And I get it. It's the biggest job in the world. You're the second most powerful person in the world, kind of literally. So
there's no such thing as kind of literally. You can't say kind of literally. That's Grasso snoring.
You're arguably the second most powerful person in the world.
I like her a lot. And I just ask you to take a step back and notice how differently we critique women in power versus men in power.
I ripped Trump apart daily.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying to think about it and to notice how the media portrays them differently.
But here's the thing you can't do. Because she's a woman, you can't give her slack either. You can't have it both ways. You can't be like, women get attacked, and then you go, yeah, well, okay, let's treat her like a dude and say she's not doing it like a dude would do it or whatever.
But I'm not. I don't see.
I know, but I'm not saying that either. I'm saying she is not the person she was when she was a prosecutor here in California. And when she was running for VP, she was a badass.
But how would you know? You just said that she's just disappeared.
Well, I think it's because the 3 times I've seen her talk since then. She's been like, it's not been someone with weight. It's been someone who's arguing. She's not making her points.
And she has a speechwriter.
That's what I'm saying. Her entire staff, they said there was an infighting in her staff. This is what I'm talking about. I think there's a lot of people going, you have to be this, you have to be that, you have to be that, because that's what happens. The more powerful you get, all of a sudden, you have a lot more friends and people that want to help you.
But you're also going to have people, and not to lay on this, I'm just saying throw it out there to consider, but you have people that are on her staff running her career, writing her speeches, that are putting it through a filter of a woman in power and how they think that should look or be tempered because she is that.
Or she's getting it from the White House. They're going, you got to tone it down. And like at one point, I'm like, I did not get the job because I toned it down. I got the job.
Right.
And what's going to happen now, here's what they don't understand. They need to let Kamala Harris go back to being who Kamala Harris has been, that we've noticed from California, and the badass, because if they don't, we're not going to, if something happens to Biden, who's in his 80s, or is going to be in 82, if they don't, we're not going to have someone we trust to take over the government. And so they need to let her go back and be who the fuck she was. Right. Yeah. Or someone that we can, yes. Right. And so I think they need to just whatever kid gloves they put on her. That's what it seems like to me. They need to take off and let her be herself.
So if you want to see us not arguing over Kamala Harris, this weekend you can see us at the Tacoma Comedy Club.
Zero
we
side
love
effects.
that club. Can't believe we're finally, it's been forever. January 28th through the 30th. The very next weekend, February 4th through the 6th, Summit City Comedy Club in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Brand new club. We've never been there. Excited about that as well. Coming up the 17th, 18th, 19th is Richmond Funny Bone. And then that weekend, we're actually going to do 2 nights at Virginia Beach Funny Bone because we always sell out when we go one night. So we're now going to do 4 shows there back to back. And then the very next weekend, North Dakota, Timonium, North Dakota. So go to chrisfortitus.com/tour. And check out the tour dates.
Where
Highlanders posted a whole bunch of new tour dates.
Wolverines medal?
All kinds of craziness coming up. Comedy Works in Denver coming up. Also, Schaumburg Improv. Like, I'm seeing these dates that we haven't worked since COVID started.
And
so,
people, speaking of COVID, we're going to be in Tacoma this weekend. We know things are going, just so you know. Double vaxxed, boosted, and I had it. So do me a favor. Please come to the show with responsibility. You laugh your ass off. Because, by the way, they keep talking about I'm not taking the vaccine or wearing the mask because of freedom. Guess what I got after I got vaxxed and had freedom? Yeah,
right.
I'm pretty much I'm
That's
vaxxed.
where the freedom is.
Right. The freedom has to exist when I can live in the world. So
wear a mask so we can stop wearing masks.
I had a guy at a restaurant with my daughter. He's like, "Can I see your vax card?" Like, I walked in. I don't know. It was my attitude. Like, this guy's obviously an asshole. Like, he came over to me like, "Hey, I need to see your vax card." And I had him. I had triple. I have all 3 of them on my thing. And he was like, "Okay." Like, what
did he single you out?
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
they have to ask everyone now.
I know, but just so he came at me like I had done something to sneak in. And
did he have a red band on his sleeve with a?
What's your fun fact?
Oh, fun fact.
We're changing
how we do this.
And now to end the podcast,
because we haven't decided. So
always,
just
with Highlander and his fun fact. Because every week there can be only one.
Question.
okay.
Yeah.
Is this a fun question?
remember, 'cause
Not a fun fact.
He looked at it, read it, goes question, then goes, I forgot already. Hold on.
This was very Stuntman Tommy, wasn't it? If you've been listening since the beginning, this was a little Stuntman Tommy.
Stuntman Tommy used to do that.
Okay. Do you know where 1/4 of all your bones are located? Where might they be? 1/4 of all your bones.
Yeah, they are in
You
your
have like 80 bones.
hands.
No.
Feet.
I would
Feet.
say-
I
Correct.
knew it was hands or feet. I couldn't remember which one.
Yes. There are 26 bones in each foot. That's 52 bones in both feet.
So of the 203 bones in your body, like a quarter of them, wow. that's
So
crazy.
2 weeks in a row, I've basically
Smoked the question.
pretty
Yeah,
close to I just hands or feet. I knew.
People don't understand.
Feet.
People do not understand
Quarter?
how incredible the human body is. Your feet got to balance you in 1,000 different ways. I think we're amazing.
It's
T cells
interesting.
to kill disease.
That's why
your
you
brain,
can't
your brain's
lose
faster
your
than any computer they make.
can't
Sometimes.
lose your big toe. Is it?
Not-
It's your
not for me.
not just now.
your big toe. They'll put. Is it? No, it's not your big toe. Which one is it? Is your pinky toe? And it completely
pinky toe.
ruins your entire balance. You can't balance anymore. And you wouldn't think it's like, really? I need all those toes?
I don't know. You're making stuff
They
up.
can
at this
take-
point.
well,
I don't know
no,
that. That's a fun fact you should look up next week. Which toe makes you lose your
I'm trying to
balance?
remember which one is
I thought
the
it was your
one
ear,
where
the
they
bone in
have
your ear.
to.
It goes that little bone in the vibrating bone.
No, you need your toes are
That's in
there
the-
to
that's in the
balance
leveling
your
bone.
feet.
Yeah, that's
They're not just there to play this little piggy, like you love to do.
And if you look on an X-ray, like at your feet, there's just like random, like a sack of beans, like a bunch of bones just floating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
For-
Mitch
they're all kind of-
Hedberg, when he lost a couple of his toes.
Who did?
Mitch Hedberg,
Right.
and I saw him perform after that, and you can see it if you see video
Wait,
of
he
him.
he is missing toes?
He's dead, so
I know,
he's
he's-
definitely
he's
missing
definitely-
toes.
yeah.
He got
had to-
arrested at the airport, and when they detained him and searched him, he had been shooting up between his toes, and he had gangrene. And they sent him to the hospital, and he lost several toes. And you can see he had trouble walking, balancing.
Wow.
It's very.
That's a fun. That's a fact. That's
just
a fun
be,
fact.
Just people,
That's
the
not
stuff- by the stuff we take for granted: eyesight, hearing, balance,
Toes. All of your toes.
Yeah, breathing, the stuff, full lung capacity. And it's funny because back to COVID, For God's sakes, you can lose this shit. If I die, I die. Good luck.
Okay.
Roll those dice. Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor. Please subscribe on YouTube at Christopher Titus TV. Go to ChristopherTitus.com for any t-shirts. We have like a bunch of t-shirts and stuff on sale and tour dates, announcements. We're going to be doing a Patreon pretty quick. With that Patreon, you're going to get access to early tickets to shows, to merch that we have. That'll be coming up. Look for that. And thanks for listening. I love doing this with you guys. I got to be honest. For myself.
Feel like I should complain about how long your outros are since you complain about my ads.
For myself, the lovely bomb. I can keep it going. By the way, anything.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Retaliation.
She screwed it up.
Oh, you're going to go extended?
Later. Okay. Peace out.
For myself, the lovely bombshell Ray of the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
Fun fact number 2.
No. Say
There could be only one.
Yay.